Hey, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Ivy, and today I'm going to be talking about my top 5 favorite books of 2019. So, this little guy is helping me film today. He's very confused. Okay. These are in no particular order because they're all great and I couldn't decide. But first up we have Fangirl by Rowell. This book follows a girl named Kath, and she is a super fan of the Simon Snow series. She is such a big fan, in fact, that she writes a fan fiction, and her fan fiction is actually super popular and gets like thousands of hits, reads, I don't know. Kath is going into college and her twin sister Ren backed out of being roommates with her, so now she's really scared because she's never really had to do anything without Ren by her side. I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars because holy crap, that's it. Just holy crap. Never in my life have I related so much to a character as I did with Kath in this book. She's a total nerd. She loves, like, Simon Snow, and that's basically me with Harry Potter, except she's like much more obsessed and much more of a real fan, but it's fine. She is like awkward and she gets like anxious in certain situations that I would get anxious in, and she overthinks everything. I felt like this book was about me just when I'm older, and also if I was talented in writing. It was just overall beautifully written. Like, Rowell, man, she is absolutely incredible. The characters and their relationships are just perfect in every way. It felt so real, and they felt like real people. I just wanted to hug them all. That's weird. I don't know. But I think like the best part of this was definitely Kath's growth throughout this story, because the person that she is at the beginning of the book versus the person she is at the end, it's just mind-blowing to me, and it was so well done and so beautiful. And when I finished this book, like when I read the last page and I closed it, I sat there and I cried. Not because it was sad, but like it was so emotional, it was full of so much emotion, and then I was so sad that it was over. And it was so beautiful, and I was just sitting on my couch crying. So next up, I have another book by Rowell, and that is Carry On. Carry On is supposed to be the fan fiction that Kath wrote in Fangirl, and if that's not the coolest thing ever, I don't know what is. This book is very inspired by Harry Potter, and it's about a boy named Simon Snow who is going to his last year at a school called Watford School of Magic. Simon is the chosen one, and he is very powerful, but he doesn't really know how to control his powers. He's still struggling with it after all of these years. He is supposed to defeat the Humdrum, who is going around and eating magic and just wreaking havoc on the magical world. Simon's last year and some weird stuff is happening, including the fact that his roommate Baz, who also happens to be a vampire and Simon's worst enemy, is missing. Like, he didn't show up to school, and Simon can't stop thinking about it, and he's freaked out, and that's how the book starts. I gave this one another 5 out of 5 stars. Rowell is great. It reminded me so much of Harry Potter, and I loved it because of it, but it also was very different and unique. It was definitely inspired by Harry Potter, but it was its own thing, its own characters, its own world. It felt amazing to just lose myself in this beautiful world. I feel like it's been a while since I had a book that just took me away and transported me somewhere else. One of my favorite parts of this was the magic system. It's really cool. So basically, like, all the spells are based on language and words and like nursery rhymes and songs. So if a certain like word isn't really said anymore and it used to be a spell, then it like won't work anymore. I don't know. It's kind of confusing but awesome. As with Fangirl, the characters were just absolutely incredible, and their relationships, specifically the romance. I'm not going to tell you who the romance is with, but if you've read Fangirl, then you know. It was everything to me. And the story was super exciting and inventive, and I literally am so excited to read the next one. I think it's called Wayward Son, but I'm really excited to continue this series and find out what happens next. Next up, I have Rebel by Marie Lu. This is the continuation of one of my favorite series ever, Legend. premise of Legend is that it's in the Republic, which is like a dystopian American society. June is a prodigy because she got a perfect score on her trials, and Day is the Republic's most wanted criminal. These two characters cross paths when June's brother is murdered. It was originally a trilogy, and I read it in 6th grade and absolutely fell in love with the world and the characters. Rowell came out this year. I got to go to the book signing for this, like her event in DC, which was incredible. I got to meet her and talk to her for a little bit, and I was like, not okay. This one is about Day and Eden. They're brothers, and like, I think it's 10 years-ish after the events of the last book, which is Champion. I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars. I absolutely loved revisiting the characters. Felt like I was coming home, and it meant so much to me because in 6th grade I was obsessed with this, and like it wasn't even that long ago, but it feels like it was, so I was just living. I also loved exploring Antarctica in this book because you kind of see it in the trilogy, but like not really. I didn't give it 5 stars because I just felt like something was missing, and I don't really know what. It just wasn't a 5-star read for me, but it's on this list because it meant so much to me, and it still means so much to me. Next on my list, I have The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. I never know how to pronounce it, and I feel like I really should. If you do not know, this is the prequel to the Lord of the Rings series, and it follows a hobbit named Bilbo Baggins who is living a very quiet and adventure-free life. That is until a group of dwarves and a wizard named Gandalf come to his door and hire him to be a burglar on an adventure. They are traveling across the land and trying to get to a dragon named Smaug, who stole their treasure and gold many years ago. This got 5 out of 5 stars from me. It was so much fun. I don't remember the last time I had this much fun when reading a book. Of course, the writing is absolutely gorgeous. Like, I can't even describe it. If you have not read this or like any of the Lord of the Rings books, you are really missing out. And I know some people are like, oh my god, it's too slow, like it's too much, but honestly, this was so fast-paced. This whole world is so fascinating and intricate and creative. Like, how I'm just in awe. Like I said, this story is super fast-paced and it's just totally epic. I don't really know how else to describe it. I am in love with Bilbo Baggins and Gandalf, but like especially Bilbo. He's just such a great character and you gotta love him. And the last book on my list is actually one that I just finished a couple days ago, and that is The Bunker Diary by Kevin Brooks. Our main character is named Linus, and he is 16 years old, and he is abducted and put into a bunker with 5 other people. There is no explanation as to why he's there or why the other people are there or what's going to happen to them. They are just in this bunker, and that is all they know. I gave this one a 5 out of 5 stars. When I was planning this video, I had a lot of trouble formulating thoughts, so this is gonna be all over the place, but here we go. It was just utterly amazing. Like, I can't describe this book. I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. There were times when my heart was literally like beating faster than normal. Like, it was intense. I think why this book was so good was because it was so raw, and it was like simple in the best way. Like, it was supposed to be simple and it worked. I will say that this book has a lot of really intense themes, and just really intense things happen, and it's a lot. I would not read this if you're looking for a happy book. I am in 9th grade, and it was rough. So if you're younger than like 14, maybe have a parent read it first. I honestly don't want to tell you too much else because this is definitely a book where you can't know much going into it. You just gotta go in, immerse yourself, read it, feel the feels, deal with the things, and then there you go. It is such a hard book to handle, and like it took a lot out of me, but it was 1000% worth it. I loved it so much. So that is it for today's video. This is gonna suck to edit later, but it's fine. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I really appreciate you being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But I will see you next time, hopefully next week, with another video. Bye!